Welcome to Freezer Milk Podcast. I'm your host, Bridget, along with my husband, Chris. Weekly, we talk about being parents, what happened that week. It's basically our therapy session to vent out everything that we went through. We are boy parents. We have 3 boys, Enzo, Rhett, and Arlo. And if you'd like to get to know us a little bit better, you can check out our website, freezermilk.com, or follow us on Instagram at Freezer Milk Podcast. We also have YouTube and TikTok, Freezer Milk. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy. Welcome back.
Howdy.
We made it. Can you believe we're going to have a 2-year-old next week?
I know, right? We were just talking about that.
Where did time go?
I don't know. It goes fast. People were kidding when they say it goes fast.
Babies don't keep.
No, they do not.
Ours a fussy one today.
Yes, he is.
It's crazy. Like, I feel like Rhett is just a whole new person.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at him and like every day he's turning into like
a little kid.
A little kid now.
And not a baby.
He's not a baby. And I'm like, and we have like photos around the house of him when he was a little baby. And I'm like, wow. They weren't kidding when they say that it goes by in the blink of an eye.
Yep. Days are long and the years are short.
Yeah. And he's going to be 2 years old.
Man.
I mean, this one's getting older too.
Got all the things to say.
Yeah, very, very vocal. Well, we had some company in town.
We did. My cousin visited. It was amazing. Hold on, we're gonna pause for a second. All right, got the baby situated. He has like his whole routine already.
Mm-hmm.
In the evenings.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we found pretty interesting about podcasting is that we kind of just do it whenever we can.
Yep.
we have no true schedule for it anymore.
It's one of those things because we talk about like, oh, should we like have like a podcasting area and have like hard fixed microphones, but reality is with like small children, like that's just not.
Yeah, we capable. Don't have. There's not a time of the day that me and you can sit down in a quiet room.
Yeah.
And record podcasts for an hour. Just can't happen.
Not yet. One day.
So now we're just doing it on the fly. But we had a visitor. We had your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin Chris came into town.
He's going to be getting married here next October.
He is.
And he wants us to fly out there, all of us.
Yeah. He wants Enzo to be in the wedding, and he wants us all to attend, and so we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if my parents are gonna show up, like, because we talked about potentially you and like Rhett, maybe Arlo not going, and maybe it just be me and Enzo, or me, Enzo, and Arlo, and kind of twofold. Like, my cousin really wants you there because you're a really important person to him, and he wants like our whole family there. But I also want you there in the event that my parents show up.
Yeah.
Because that will be stressful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if you were to take Enzo and Arlo.
Yeah.
It'd be a little much.
Yeah.
We're going to make it work.
Yeah.
It's going to be travel aspect of it's going to be travel with kids, with little ones. We bought first class seating.
Yeah, we got
on the airplane.
Stinking screaming deal on.
Whoever's in first class is going to fucking hate us.
We got a really good deal going there. We still have to figure out our flights coming back, but we got a really good deal for first class going there, so we couldn't say no to it. Just to have more room, and to have like car seats not be squished, and to have good service, and just less stress, less crowd. It'll be interesting for sure. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it though. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
I think Chris is really excited to have us. We're going to stay at his house, which we're excited about. But it was nice having him here. It's refreshing to see him with the kids, because like you used to tell me, he's like, hey, and talking before, we had kids, Chris didn't want kids. Like he was a career man. He traveled, he went overseas for work, and he just was about that life. And he has just completely flipped a switch, and now he's like all about kids. And
I think I mentioned it a long time ago, but he 100% attest to the fact that being around Rhett when Rhett was a baby, because he came out quite a bit, because he was going through a lot in his life. So he came out quite a bit 2 years ago. And being around Rhett when he was a baby and going on vacation with us to Florida, and that's what made him want children.
Yeah.
So he 110% attests that it was because of our kids.
Well, and then coming out here to get to meet Arlo.
Oh my gosh.
He was all about it.
Yeah.
Any chance he got, he would be holding him, feeding him, burping him, changing him. Just loved having him.
He, like, wanted to try to put him to sleep, like, for a nap. And so, like, I talked about, like, okay, like, turn him belly to belly towards you. And then, like, make sure his pacifier is kind of pinned between, like, your chest and him. And do, like, butt pats. And then, like, twist at, like, your waist. Keep your legs stationary and, like, just do twisting back and forth. And he did it, and Arlo passed right out.
It was awesome. I mean, it's good that our children have touched him in that way.
Yeah.
You know, kind of softened his heart, because when we met, I didn't want children.
Yeah, and I was okay with that. I had kind of said, okay, like, that's fine. Enzo is what I have, and that is more than enough. And I didn't know if I wanted to have additional kids at that time when we first started dating.
Yeah.
I think you always say, like, you could see that I still had more, like, mothering in me to do, I guess, or something like that.
You sure did.
But I don't feel like I ever pressured you about it.
No. I think I made the decision.
You did.
And then we decided to have a second one.
Well, you did.
And here we are.
Is Arlo not just the, like, best baby?
He is. We had to work through some kinks in the beginning.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, he's pretty fantastic. I mean, he was night and day from what Rhett was when...
Oh, my cousin was commenting
born.
on that. He was like, Rhett would have never done this. Like, he just chills.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's such a, like, a little doll baby. Like, we went out to eat. We had a babysitter, and so we just took Arlo with us, and we all went out to eat, and he was awake the entire time in his car seat, and I just had my hand on him, and he was super content.
Yep, didn't make a peep.
Just gonna look at mom. Good to go.
Yeah, he's so much different than Rhett was at his age. Rhett had some intestinal issues and was just very ornery, and
yeah,
I don't know. We didn't leave the house. We didn't leave the house for like 6 months.
Rhett was a lot more high strung in general. Like,
yeah,
Arlo is currently he's very chill.
Well, Rhett still doesn't do good at...
Except for if you try to take his, like, bottle away when he has, like, you want to burp him, he'll let you know if he's not ready.
Yeah.
He gets real mad.
Yeah, I mean, he's you know, just like today, I was out in the garage messing around, and you guys came out and just sat in the chair and hung out, and he didn't have a care in the world. Just all about that life. Like, yeah, I got my mom, I got my milk, so I'm good.
Remember when Rhett was little, and he was, like, super crazy, and you were like, I really wished I could have that baby that, like, just chilled with me.
Mm-hmm.
And you got it.
Yeah. And that leads to another point. You know, we've been talking about our routine.
Yeah.
With him. He's got this routine now in the evenings after I put Rhett to bed, where I pretty much just strip him down to a diaper.
Yep.
And I set him on this really, really comfortable...
like soft, fuzzy
blanket on the couch. And I rub oils on his belly. And I change his diaper. And we give him a bottle. And last night we didn't do that.
Oh, God.
The dude... like, he normally... Like, I would say the past 2 weeks, he's probably been sleeping anywhere from 6 to 8 hours.
Uh-huh.
Salt straight.
Yeah.
Without even getting up.
Yeah.
And last night, I didn't do that routine, and he
struggled to go to bed, and then he went to bed, and he was up, like, 3.5 hours later, and then he was fidgeting and fussy and restless all night. I was like, holy moly, like, because I tried to get you, like, you're just burnt out yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you should do the routine. You're like, no, I'm tired. And I was like, I mean, I get it. But tonight I was like, no, you're doing the fucking routine. I'm not dealing this again.
So here we are, like, back to podcasting whenever. We're sitting on the couch with the baby doing the routine, recording podcasts. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is the life you get. I mean, this is what you sign up for when you have young ones that rely on you.
I think a big thing that has come with having baby number 3 is realizing that we just need to carry on with our lives and what we want to do. And if that means podcasting while we're giving the baby a bottle, so be it. You okay, bud?
Not really, no. He farted and burped and did all sorts of stuff at the same time. But
his oils are working. So we do a fennel oil in a coconut oil carrier in a roller on his belly to help like break up some gas. And I feel like it seems to work pretty well. It helps him like to kind of move gas a little bit better.
Yeah.
It smells like licorice.
It does. It smells like black licorice.
Yeah.
That's him being hungry still.
I'll get you more bottle.
We're about to cash this whole thing, man. Yeah, it's a trip with this one. So I remember at his age, Rhett wouldn't let me do this.
No.
He wouldn't let me hold him. He wouldn't let me give him a bottle. He was strictly breastfed. That was. I mean, that's still an issue that we have right now. We were in a car ride today.
No, he took bottles till he was 4 months old. He took one a day.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But he wouldn't take one from me.
Yeah, he did.
Man, I can't remember any of it.
We only did one a day.
I think your body or your mind just kind of like blacks out.
Oh, 110%.
To just save you.
It does. Absolutely.
But it's like, today, like how, we all were in the car and Rhett was freaking out, so you got in the back seat.
Yeah, between the two car seats.
Between the two car seats, and Rhett just lost it because he just wants to breastfeed constantly, and he's almost 2 years old. And we were having the conversation. We're like, hey,
do we cut him off?
Yeah, at what point?
Because like he was doing pretty good with doing it like once a day, and now he's like, he wants to nurse all the time.
Yeah.
If I'm around, he wants to nurse, and he like is distraught that he cannot.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been spending more time with him because in the beginning when Arlo was firstborn, like I was definitely like in our bedroom for like postpartum recovery, and so
for about 6 weeks?
What'd you say?
For 6 weeks?
Yeah, probably like 4.
Oh.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
But Rhett was okay with like nursing once a day, and like, now I spend more time with him and like play outside with him and like other stuff, and he just wants to nurse all the time.
And he's 2 years old.
That part, that part doesn't bother me because like World Health and I believe American Board of Pediatrics recently updated, but World Health recommends 2 years for breast milk if you can. It's just I want to be able to hang out with him with it not be about breastfeeding.
Yeah, constantly.
Like in the car, he was mad that I was sitting next to him and he could like touch my boob with his hand, but I wouldn't nurse him while we were driving. He was like so upset about it. Baby. Oh, nobody likes burps. So I just don't know, like, he was just mad that I was sitting there and he could touch my boob, but he couldn't actually, like, I wouldn't nurse him in the car.
Right.
And so he was like irate about it. And then on the other side, I have Arlo sitting there just smiling like, oh, Mama!
So amazing. Like, out of 3 boys, like, they're all so different.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of similarities. The personalities are completely different.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's like, and then I got to deal with you, which, in your 7 personalities.
And your grumpy ass self.
Yeah. So.
Just angry all the time. Enzo had a student-led... It's like a parent-teacher conference, but they have the student lead it, so I guess the teachers don't have to.
That seems ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I don't know. They do it like twice a year. But I think he wanted me to go, so I went, and his dad and his dad's wife went. And I think he was like... I would end up being freaking like 10 minutes late because I got stuck behind a slow person, and then I like went to the wrong classroom. It's fine. Enzo was really excited I got there, though. And he was excited Arlo was there. And he was excited to, like, show off his hundreds. And
Yeah, I think he's just struggling with acclimation, man. He's just struggling not being the only kid here. Or the only child here. He does good at school.
Yeah, he's really good at school. He's just finding out who he is.
Yeah, he's at that age where he's going to start hitting puberty soon, and a lot of feelings are going to change.
I feel like he is getting better at trying to express emotions or identify them a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's been like a huge thing that we're seeing with like him going to therapy. He's getting a little better about understanding what emotions he's feeling, identifying them, and then expressing.
Yeah, instead of just shoving it deep down and stomping off.
Yeah. The other day, he was making something in the kitchen. I was like, hey, if you're done with that, you can, just put it in the sink. And he was like, I'm not done with it yet, actually. I'm going to do this next. And I was like, hey.
Perfect.
I appreciate you communicating that.
Yeah. Because that was the argument me and him got in because of the peanut butter situation.
Yeah.
Man, kids will age you rather quickly.
All of our gray white hairs.
Right. Yeah, so it was a good week. It was nice having your cousin out here. He gave us a little bit of a reprieve, and we got to go out to dinner with him. And I think all in all, he enjoyed being out here. He says he's going to try and come back out.
Yeah, I think he's going to come out once or twice before we go back in October.
Once or twice?
Yeah.
Okay, come on out.
I think we're going to fly. We talked to them. We're like, can we fly some stuff back with you?
Yeah, because, it's so hard. Anybody that's traveled with kids, it's tough. Especially through the airports. You got so much stuff. But there's so much stuff that you can do, like, there. Like, you found all these rentable sites.
Yeah. Like Baby Quip. There's another baby. I forget the other one's called, like, Baby Gear or something like that. But you can rent a bunch of stuff. So we'll probably do that for, like, a car seat for Rhett so we don't have to bring home with us. Because I don't think... We just got to kind of see. Because he's going to be 2.5 when we fly out there. So if he's still, like, super wild, we might... bring a car seat on the plane.
Yeah.
If he is pretty chill or more chill, then we probably will just let him try sitting in the regular seat on the plane. Arlo, baby. He's got to be going through like a growth spurt. Just crazy. So I think we might rent his car seat out there so we don't have to bring it, and then potentially a second pack and play. I'm probably gonna rent. There's a company called Rent the Runway that lets you like rent outfits either like on a monthly subscription or like one-time occasions. So I'll probably like rent an outfit for the wedding out there so I don't have to bring one.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that they offer all these services so that you don't have to worry about trying to get this shit through the airport.
Right?
Because I remember the first time we traveled with kids, we had like 6 car seats, we had the pack and plays, we had our suitcases, we had, oh God, it was such a nightmare.
I was going to Hawaii.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was a lot. It was challenging.
Well, we even thought about driving, but after this, we drove for 45 minutes today? And it was just a nightmare. We're like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to drive 3 days.
We're good.
We'll try the flight.
Are you in a bad coma?
But, anyway.
I think it's interesting, too. We kind of talked a little bit about how this week, just how much, like my cousin noticed when he was here, how much you are, like, in your prime of, like, amazing parent, dad, just crushing it.
Yeah, but he also said compared to, like, the beginning, when Enzo, or when Rhett was born, I wasn't necessarily... I was struggling with it like you. Because you were, like, borderline... PPD, and he was ornery, and I couldn't do anything to help.
And you were still figuring out, like, you hadn't had that realization of, like, this is my life now. Like, I'm a dad, and I don't just get to, like, choose not to be a dad. Like, I'm in it now. All day, every day.
Yep. My child's an accessory now. Everywhere I go, he goes.
You're really, like... I knew with how you treated Enzo that you would be an amazing father. And it just took you kind of going through figuring out how to do it with the baby. And then you like hit your, like, even with Arlo, like, you are in your stride, you are in your prime of it, like, you're amazing at it, like, you're like, I got this, bud, don't worry, like, I know all the tricks, I can figure out all the stuff now. I got, like, a Rolodex, dating myself a little bit, a Rolodex of options.
Rolodex. Yeah, just a little bit.
Makes me sound like I'm, like, 60. Got my Rolodex.
Yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been easy. You're learning on the job every day. Like, especially with like Rhett. Rhett is growing up, and he's coming into his own little person. He's got his own personality. He's got his own feelings. He's got wants. He's got his needs. He's got so many things going on. And I deal with him every day, but still every day it's something different. Like, what was it? All last week, he would wake up at 6:30 a.m. No problem.
I know, you got spoiled.
I got spoiled for 5 days, and then every day this week he's been waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And immediately wants a peanut butter and jelly. And he screams bloody murder until he gets his peanut butter and jelly at 5 a.m. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I need to find that sugar-free jelly.
Right? No shit. I'm just like, I don't know. Everything is just, you adapt, and you have to adapt. You have to learn. You have to be there and be present and
keep showing up.
Just keep showing up. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's probably 75% of it is just showing up and showing them that you care, that you're there. And
oh man, when you were in the car and he was losing it, I was like, I love you, bud. And I like looked at him and he was like, ah!
Right.
Like,
just lost it.
Just mad.
Yeah, I mean, he has this tantrum. He's coming into that tantrum phase where he just throws these little freaking tantrums. For the most part, I ignore him because I don't want him to get to a point where he thinks, oh, this is how I'm going to get attention by throwing these stupid tantrums. But to him, he's got stuff going on and he's feeling and he's going through something. And to us, he's just throwing a tantrum.
He started to put more words together.
Yeah, he's getting there. I'm kind of looking, you guys say it's, careful what you wish for, but I'm kind of looking forward to him to start talking so he can communicate a little bit better with me. But I actually kind of understand pretty much everything that he's requesting. It's really weird. And he speaks fucking gibberish.
So Enzo, like, accidentally broke a decorative, like, vase that we have. Over the weekend, my cousin was here still. And I was, like, in the other room pumping. And I was like, something broke! Adults! Because I was like, I don't know where you guys are. I don't know, like, I assume you're right here, but in case you're not, I don't want, like, small child to get to it. So Chris took Rhett and immediately, like, put him down the hallway and, like, put the hallway gate closed. So and Rhett immediately was like, hey! Stuck behind gate! Hey! And we were like, did he just straight up say, stuck behind the gate?
Yeah.
Huh.
Full sentence, and he hasn't said it since.
No. We're like, you said a full sentence. That's like the first one you've ever said.
Stuck behind the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's awful.
I love his little...
Where's that going to lead?
I love his hey. Then he says now, hey! Hey!
He's got such a big personality. He's...
Oh my gosh.
Full of so much joy.
Talk about when you put him to bed last night.
What happened?
When he gets in, like, his crib.
Oh, yeah. Now he gets in his crib. So he fights me on every outfit, changing. He wants to be in his most comfy clothes, his pajamas, all the time. But last night I let him pick out his pajamas, and in his crib, there's barely any room for him because he has, like, 45 stuffed animals, a bunch of books, his couple of waters. He's got
a blanket.
And then he holds onto one of his drawings that he drew, and like he literally just, he's got his pillow. He just lays down in there, and he sits there and puts his blanket on. He's got his stuffies and his agua, and he just reads his book. Just sits there and reads his book in the dark. Not that he knows how to read, but he looks at the freaking polar bears on the page, and I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, how do you see that? It's dark in here.
And like most of the time, if he's not crying in the morning, but I know he's up, I'll go in his room. And he'll be in there looking at his drawings, his little paintings in the dark. And I'm like, oh my God. But
what's his latest obsession been?
What has his obsession
I got him an outfit today.
Oh, yeah. His Mickey Mouse stuff. He's kind of obsessed with his Winnie the Pooh bear thing.
Yeah, that just started randomly.
Yeah, he's got to have it when he goes to bed. And...
I don't like that. Literally started like in the last like 4 days. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But I picked out I let him pick out a Mickey Mouse like little sweatsuit outfit for 2-year-olds, and he loves it.
He's actually sleeping in it because he didn't want to wear anything else.
It's so cute.
I'm like, is this even safe? It's got like a hoodie. I'm like, I don't really love this idea, but okay.
It's adorable.
It's not worth the fight. You pick and choose your battles. That's what parenting is.
Oh, yeah.
You pick and choose your battles because they got a lot more energy than we do.
Well, it's like today he lost his mind about putting his shoes on inside the house because he was just mad. And he was trying to go to like the playground, which he loves. But he was like so mad about putting his shoes on inside the house. And eventually you came in and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go put you in the stroller. When you put your shoes on the stroller. And it was no big deal. He was good to go then.
Yeah.
And it's just realizing like what's worth fighting and what's not. Like it's just not worth it.
And then he has his moments where he'll tell you like when he's tired and he's ready to go to bed.
Right.
He'll come up to you and he'll grab your hand and say night-night.
And then like start pulling you towards the hallway.
Yeah, start pulling you towards the hallway to go to his room. I'm like, fuck, how many kids do that?
Right. It's crazy. He doesn't normally fight bedtime. He's pretty good about it.
I don't think, honestly, I can't remember the last time he fought me on bedtime. But I also think it helps that we give them time management. You know, so like with him, we did it with Enzo too, where we'd give him...
I learned the hard way with Enzo, and someone recommended it to me.
Yeah.
That's like, ding, 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 huge parenting tip. Give your kid time-minute warnings.
Yeah.
5 minutes till this, 10 minutes till that. It doesn't, if they're not old enough to understand how long the time actually is, then you can make it however long you fucking want.
Right.
You know, you could say 5 minutes and 25 minutes later. Or you could say 20 minutes and 10 minutes later, be like, yep, I'm going to bed now. But it helps them, someone told me that it helps their brain process the fact that we are going to be transitioning and changing activities. Because if you think about it, like, even if I did it to you, if I was like, hey, get in the car right this second, we're leaving. You'd be like, wait, what? Like, I'm in the middle of something.
You just use an example that I do to you.
I know. You do me all the fucking time. I hate it.
You just woke up, and I'm like, hey, get in the car. We gotta go.
Like, you'll be during work, you know, hey, do you want to go with me here? And I'll ask you that, and you'll be like, I got this stuff to do. But could you imagine if I just was like, get in the car right now? You'd be like, but I'm in I'm not ready. I'm like in the middle of stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same way with kids. So giving them the time-minute warning about before the transition of activity helps them so much.
Yeah, makes sense.
And everything changes all the time. Remember, Rhett used to have to like cry it out for like an hour.
For bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore. Mm-mm. He'll stay up and play with his whatever's in his crib, and then he just kind of lays down and goes to sleep. Then he wakes up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. It's crazy. Well, I think that's all we got for this week.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us complain and
talk about parenting and life.
Hopefully you can take away something from our thoughts and whatnot. But we appreciate you listening.
Appreciate you listening. We'll chat again next week.
Thanks everybody for listening. You can check us out at
freezermilk.com
or Instagram.
Freezer Milk Podcast.
Until next week, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, parenting is a trip. We are all here on the journey with you together. Thanks so much for listening.